Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors suffer a ruthless defeat to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The team didn't play well, but it was clear that it needed something more to reach the playoffs and reach the Western Conference Finals. Even though they have a 7-2 record, fans know that new player additions will be needed. The Warriors need to pull the trigger on a big deal. At the moment there are several Warriors players many teams want, and bringing in an established star would be ideal to win a championship again. Rumors, trading for a big star will be the Warriors' salvation this season. Cavaliers defeat Warriors with 20-2 run to open game. The Cleveland Cavaliers looked every bit the only undefeated team in the NBA in the opening minutes on Friday. The Golden State Warriors didn't look like a team that was 7-1. Two nights after Golden State handed the Boston Celtics their home loss of the season, Cleveland came out and blasted them from the start. After Andrew Wiggins' jump shot tied the game at 2-2, the Cavs went on an 18-0 run to take a 20-2 lead just 4:27 into the game. Cleveland showed the explosiveness that has become the NBA's best offense through the first 3 weeks of the season. All 5 starters scored in the race. The Cavs shot 6 of 8 and were 4 of 5 from three-point range, no surprise, as they are best in field goal percentage and second in three-point percentage. Meanwhile, the Warriors were unable to make a three-pointer, or a layup, thanks to Cleveland's interior defense. Jarrett Allen stopped drives and forced the Warriors to settle for outside shots. Evan Mobley blocked a Wiggins layup and turned it into a dunk on the other end. Golden State made a statement Wednesday night. Cleveland made an even stronger statement, effectively ending their battle with a 7-1 lead after 18 minutes. Good times win, but great times have defeats. Giannis Antetokounmpo will be perfect for the Warriors. Despite the Golden State Warriors being left out in the reported Giannis Antetokounmpo's short trade destinations, there is still a belief that they are in the running to land the Greek Freak should he demand a trade. The Warriors' dream to pair Antetokounmpo with Stephen Curry could hinge on one important detail, according to Bleacher Report's NBA insider Jake Fisher. Aside from the championship tradition and the presence of Curry, Antetokounmpo's representation could work in the Warriors' favor, which Fisher pointed out in a recent video posted on Bleacher Report discussing the Milwaukee Bucks franchise star's future. I think the other big connection here to keep an eye on is the fact that Giannis and Steph are both represented by the same agency, Octagon, not the same agent, but the same agency, Fisher said. Antetokounmpo is represented by his fellow Greek, Alex Saratzis, who joined Octagon in 2009 and is widely credited for the agency's international clout. Saratzis also represents Curry's brother, Seth Curry of the Charlotte Hornets. On the other hand, Curry is represented by Jeff Austin, who is the head of Octagon's basketball division. Giannis is going to have a very complicated trade scenario, and talks like that if we do come down to a Giannis trade request at some point in time, whether it's February or whether it's next summer, the fact that he's represented by the same agency as Steph Curry, I think, is just an important detail in all of this, Fisher added. Will Giannis Antetokounmpo join Steph Curry on the Golden State Warriors? There's no dodging it, the Milwaukee Bucks have been the most disappointing team in the NBA so far this season. After 8 games, the team has a dismal record of 2-6, even with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard playing. With the Bucks struggling, it's created a surge of trade rumors surrounding the team. Some rumors have Giannis linked to the Miami Heat or Brooklyn Nets, but one former NBA player believes he should join the Warriors. During an episode of FanDuel TV's Run It Back show, 9-year NBA veteran Chandler Parsons expressed his thoughts on Giannis leaving the Milwaukee Bucks. "Miami, I get for lifestyle and for city," Parsons said. "But if I'm looking across the city and I want to trade because I'm losing, why in the world would these 2 teams be the 2 teams you want to go to? I think it's got to be the Warriors, Thunder, and Rockets. If I'm Giannis, yeah, I'd want to go play with Steph Curry." As it stands, the Golden State Warriors have a fantastic record of 7-2. It's too early to gauge whether or not the team should make an actual move, because that roughly takes at least 20 games to gauge. Giannis would be an amazing fit on the team, but the current roster needs more time together. If Steph Curry and Giannis ever do team up, it would shake the foundation of the NBA. Interesting details emerge about contract extension for Warriors' Moses Moody. Moses Moody and the Golden State Warriors agreed on a contract extension a few weeks ago that will pay the young guard $39 million over 3 years. This week, NBA reporter John Hollinger revealed some interesting incentives in the Moody contract. Moses Moody contract incentives. Hollinger reported for The Athletic that Moody's contract extension includes almost $500,000 annually in unlikely incentives. According to the report, there are 3 key factors to Moody's contract incentives. The 3 benchmarks he needs to hit to receive his cash incentives are playing at least 1,600 minutes, attempting at least 9 three-pointers per 100 possessions, and achieving at least 60% true shooting. These incentives don't start paying out until next season, but if he hits them this year, it will change the incentives from unlikely to likely, which would have an effect on the Warriors' cap hit from the incentives. Moody's stats trending toward incentives. Moody has yet to hit all of these benchmarks in a season. The most minutes he has played in a season was last year, when he played 1,156, and he is averaging 8.5 three-point attempts per 100 possessions and has a career true shooting percentage of 58.9%. That is likely why these incentives are currently deemed as unlikely. That being said, Moody has started the season off playing well, and if he can continue to wedge himself into a decent spot in the Warriors' crowded guard rotation, he could hit his benchmarks this season. Right now, Moody is averaging 17.9 minutes per game, a whopping 12.7 three-point attempts per 100 possessions, and has a true shooting percentage of 66.9%. The standout stat for Moody this year is his three-point attempts. Moody is getting a similar amount of playing time as last season, but he is taking, and making, way more shots, specifically threes. Moody is taking more than 4 three-pointers extra per 100 possessions from last season. Although the season is still young, his shot looks great. Maybe his new contract incentives are causing Moody to think less and shoot more, but if he can keep up this clip, the Warriors organization certainly won't complain about paying up. Moody needs more playing time. Ask any Warriors fan, and they will say the biggest issue that Moody has had so far in his career is getting playing time. Head coach Steve Kerr is known for playing a deep rotation throughout the season, and unfortunately for Moody, that hasn't resulted in tons of playing opportunities. Even with Moody playing some of the best basketball of his career highs in points and assists this season, Kerr still hasn't been able to get him more minutes than last season. It has often perplexed Warriors fans why Moody can't get more playing time. 2 seasons ago, Kerr decided to play guys like Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome over him. Last year, rookie Brandon Podziemski and one-year rental Chris Paul grabbed significantly more playing time than him. Kerr constantly praises Moody's maturity in handling his inconsistent minutes, but still refuses to get him more of them. Unless the Warriors have to deal with major injuries, it doesn't look like Moody will hit his benchmark of 1,600 minutes this season. With his current averages, even if he played all 82 games, he wouldn't even play 1,500. It seems like talent or effort isn't what is holding Moody back from hitting his contract bonuses, but it's the Warriors' depth chart and coaching decisions.